Okay, so what we're going to be doing right now is the first part of three of finding equations from exponential functions. So essentially, what we're going to be doing is breaking this up into three parts. The first part is finding the equation if we are given an exponential graph. Then the second one is going to be a table of values. And the third one would be if I've got two things on the graph or on a table that are farther apart if there's gaps. That one takes a little bit longer, and so that's going to be one that's going to take a little longer. We're going to split these up into three parts. So this first one is just going to be, if I got a straight up graph, what do we do to figure out how to find the equation? So just remembering our exponential equation are made up of the format of y equals a times b to the x power. So when you're doing this, you got to find the multiplier and you got to find the start value. And so ultimately, it's not hard to do, especially if you're going to start with a graph, because really when we do this, it's pretty much given to you, but I've got it broken down into some ways that'll give you some steps. So when you're doing this, we've got a graph example on the right. We'll do some other examples, but your first step is to find your A. And guys, it's always, no matter what, going to be whatever your y-intercept is. So like right here, I'm going to look, this is 0, 2. So our A in this case is going to be 2. First part easy, no problem. Now I'm going to get 2 points that are next to each other. And you could totally use 0, 2 if you'd like to, but generally they give you a few more. So in this case, this one is going to give you 1, 6. And here I have got 2, 18. So I'm going to write those down just so we have them here. So we'll do 1, 6 and we'll do 2, 18. And the way that we find our B or our multiplier is by dividing the Y values. Now look, I have you write these down, and that's great for us to be able to use them. Essentially, when you have them here, what you're doing is just looking at what happens between those two Y values and dividing them. In this case, you always take your second one divided by your first one. So for this one, I'm going to be doing 18 divided by 6 to figure out what it's going to be. Now, 18 divided by 6 is going to give me a happy number 3. I could have done this with the 6 and the 2. If I had done 6 divided by 2, I would also have gotten the 3. But regardless, when you find that, what that's going to give you is your multiplier. So when we're done, we know that our B is 3 here. So if I'm doing that, what is our equation in the format of A times B to the x power? We said that our A was 2. We know that our B is 3, and we're raising that to the x power. So the equation of this graph is y is equal to 2 times 3 raised to the x power. Again, it's not super difficult for us to do, but it does give us a stepwise process to go through and figure this out. Now, what I want to do is just kind of go through some examples to make sure that you can see them. So we've got 4 examples on this page. I don't know that I'm going to go through all 4. I think I'm probably going to do one of the swooping up and one of the ones swooping down, so we see how to do the ones where we have a fractional multiplier as well. So we'll do problems 1 and 3, and then on the completed graph stuff, I'll have this scanned up there for 2 and 4 as well. So we're going to start talking this out. We look here. We know that our y-intercept is at 0, 6. So that means that our equation starts with y is equal to 6 for my A. Well, now I got to do my B part. So it's going to be something to the x power. So let's write my other 2 points. This one is 1, 12. And then it appears to be 2, 24. So if I'm taking my y values and dividing them, if I do 24 divided by 12, I'm going to get 2. 12 divided by 6 is also 2, so that is going to be my multiplier. Y is equal to 6 times 2 to the x power. Again, guys, these are not intentionally difficult. As long as you can find the points, you should be in good shape. Taking a look then at, let's say, the one that now is swooping down, so we know we have a fractional exponent. Process is the same. You just have to look at what we're doing. So right now, my y-intercept is right there. It is 0, 4. So again, we'll start off with y is equal to 4. And now I'm going to leave this space here for my multiplication for my base to the x power. And let's write some points. This one is -1. It appears as though this is 8. And then this one right here is going to be -2, 16. Now, I think it's probably easiest for you to see what happens when we deal with these by doing the same general idea. But remember, before we were swooping up, you always do the second one divided by my first one. So for me, I'm going to say that my base is equal to the second one divided by the first one, and I'm going to write it like a fraction. So I'm going to do 8 over 16 for us to see that. Now that reduces to 1 over 2. I can do the same thing with these two to see that B is going to equal 4 over 8, which also reduces to 1 over 2. So whenever you set these up, you take the one on the right divided by the one on the left. So 4 divided by 8 or 8 divided by 16. And our fraction here is going to be 1/2 to the x power. So that's what we do for all of these. You find your zero term, you make that your a, then you start to find what happens with the y values and divide them to find your b, and you should be in pretty good shape. So that is where this video will swiftly end.